Yo, what is everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to go over how to create this really cool comic freeze frame effect in Final Cut Pro 10. So it creates this really cool, like, comic, cartoonish freeze frame effect where it kind of like slowly reveals itself and then it goes into the next video right there. So it's a really cool effect, and I'm just going to call it like the comic freeze frame effect. So I'm going to head over to the example right here. Let's go ahead and play it right here. As you can see, it's just a normal video. There's no freeze frame at all. I'm going to go ahead and go over how to create. So you just have like a hard cut, which you know is pretty cool. Just have like a normal jump cut. Maybe you want to add a little bit to your video and add a little bit cooler of a transition. So that's where the freeze frame comes into place. So I'm going to go ahead and head over here. Go ahead and click on Option F. All I'm doing right there is just creating a freeze frame right there. I'm going to rename this one. Just call it freeze frame right there, and then I'm just going to place the freeze frame on top of the video right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Control D and set the duration to 15 frames. I believe the original video where I found this from, I think they had it set like 20 frames, so I would say maybe 15 or 20 frames. I tried to do 10 and I think that went a little too fast, but at the end of the day, you know, that's a personal preference. So the next thing you want to do is, you know, probably like every freeze frame, probably everyone knows this by now, you have to have a draw mask. Unfortunately, yes, if you've never done masking before, it's impossible to do a freeze frame without masking. So yes, if you want to become, you know, like a pro editor and you want to start using freeze frames, unfortunately you're gonna have to start learning a draw mask. But after you get a little bit of practice, a draw mask is not as hard as it may look. And obviously, if you've used Photoshop in the past, it's quite literally the exact same effect. So I'm just gonna do a rough selection just for the sake of the tutorial. So next I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, actually just go ahead and play it right here. So this is what it looks like right here. So I'll go ahead and play it right there. Waiting for the render. Let's go ahead and let it play right there. As you can see, there you go. That's just a generic freeze frame. Next thing you want to do is you want to head over to the effects panel right here, and you want to go to comic looks right there, and you can apply any single one of these. Now granted, keep in mind that doesn't actually have to be a comic effect. You don't have to add a comic filter. I'll show you how to create the mask effect, but in this video I want to go over how to create with a comic effect. So you can go ahead and choose every one of these. I'm just going to do comic cool right there. That's just the effect that I like. I'm going to go ahead and switch it to black and white right there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, pick which color I want. So you can also pick from here, or you could also click right here and then go over and get a more accurate selection on the color you want right there. So there you go. That's how you create that really cool kind of yellow effect right there. Again, you could pick from any single one of these until you get the effect that you want. Now what you want to do is I'll zoom in right here, make sure it's lined up perfectly. What you want to do is you click on the clip, hold down Option G, and you're just creating a compound clip right there. So what you can do is go to the compound clip right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and head out to 50% right there, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply a mask right there. So hopefully I do this correctly. Hopefully I remember, you know, how to do this. So what you're gonna do is you want to kind of mask. So I'm going to start in the lower right, lower left right there. Go hold down Shift to create a straight line, and you can select as much as you want for the first selection right there. So go ahead and make sure this is 0.3 and then this is 0.2. So we go ahead and zoom in right here, and if you mess up the mask a little bit, you can go ahead and fix it right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the beginning right here. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place a keyframe on control points. So on control points of the draw mask. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to go back one frame, and I'm going to go ahead and just open up the control points right there. Now you have to remember where your control points are. So basically, as you can see, control point 2 and control point 3. This is basically the control points we're going to be moving. Now you don't want to move the x-axis because you're going up. So you want to move the y-axis. So what you want to do is you want to take the y-axis and you want to move it all the way up right there until you get it the way you want. And then, for example, I know 990, I believe it might be 1,000. And then I'll type in here 990 right there. And then you could type in 1,000 just to make sure you have the entire selection right there. So all you're doing is you're just doing the control point 2, control point 3, and you're keyframing the y-axis until the entire thing is filled up right there. I'm gonna go frame by frame and explain what's going on. So watch point 2, point 3, the y-axis right here, these two numbers. As you can see, the y-axis right here is being keyframed right there. So it's revealing so 600, 700, 800, 900, and then 1000. And there you go. It's as simple as that. All you're doing is just keyframing the y-axis of control point 2 and 3 right there. So if I go ahead and play the clip right here, I'll go ahead and let it play and go over what it looks like right there. So I'll go ahead and play it right here. As you can see, there you go. You have this really cool kind of like mask reveal effect right there. And then there you go. That's what it looks like. It looks like this really cool kind of freeze frame effect right there. This comic freeze frame effect. So all you're doing is just going to apply the draw mask right here. You want to start here, 1.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. And then all you're doing is you're keyframing the control points and going to the y-axis right here of control point 2 and 3. And you're just keyframing the y-axis until you have the entire thing revealed. And obviously you want it to be like the same numbers because you don't want to be like off a little bit like this. So you want to make sure the exact same numbers. So all you're gonna do is gonna keep messing with the y-axis. It might be 1,000, it might be 400, it might be 500, whatever the number is for your clip. You want to just keep going until you can see the entire freeze frame right there. And that's how you do it. That's how you create this. Really, all you're doing is just keyframing the control points to reveal the entire effect right there. So there you go, and this is the final edit right there, with a lot more time put into the draw mask right there. And then of course you can add some more motion blur if you want, or add some motion blur if you want, just to help make it look a little more realistic. As you can see, the y-axis of control point 2 and 3 is keyframed, and there you go. You have created this really cool comic freeze frame effect. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful and informative. If you're new to this channel, I upload Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you enjoy these types of videos, consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, a Final Cut Pro 10 tutorial playlist with over 210 Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials. See you in the next one. Peace.